Hello, Mr. Otisdorf. How you doing this morning?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Okay.
Uh,
Mr. Otisdorf, you're on this side.
oh, yes, ma'am. Let me do that.
All right. Are you ready to proceed on this, Mr.
Yes,
Otisdorf?
ma'am.
All right. The court is calling 2020 CR 4185 State of Texas versus Daniel Antonio Swingell. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Jim Oltersdorf and Mr. Swindell.
Are you Mr. Swingell?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how you pronounce your last name? Swingle. Okay. All right, Mr. Swingle, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you have a chance to review those documents with your attorney, and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Daniel Anthony Swingle,
Yes, ma'am.
who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 4185 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on June 5th, 2020 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Daniel Antonio Swingill, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of July, August, September, October, November, December 2021, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December 2022, and January, February, March, April, May 2023 in violation of condition number 5.
All right, how do you plead to that? Guilty?
Guilty.
I'm sorry, true or not true? No, the reason what is throwing me off is I just looked at this and I saw that this came from, I think this came from the 290th because Jennifer Pena is listed. So I guess it got transferred here. I'm sorry. How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
All right. Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Swingle,
Swindell.
Swingle,
Swingle.
Swingle.
Oh,
Okay. Mr. Swingle, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is for 2 years TDC. The state's also going to take into consideration it's a misdemeanor cause number. I don't have that misdemeanor cause number right in front of me, but Hank is going to write up the dismissal right now.
All right, is that the agreement?
It is, Judge. Maybe if we can be heard at some point.
Yes, you can be.
Well, you're probably concerned about that assault. It's refreshingly 2 males. My client basically got into a fight at the jail. So it's not a male and a female, which is good to know. I haven't had one of those for probably a year.
Mhm.
Again, hasn't been good at all about reporting, but his record is not bad at all. That's why the state has presented a recommendation to you of 2.
Okay.
We realize, and Mr. Swingill realizes and is concerned over the fact that he's on deferred and full range is punishment is available to the court. So we're deeply concerned about that, but we're hoping that the court will follow that recommendation. Again, we've examined, both myself and the DA examined his record. It's not bad. When he was arrested again this time, he didn't resist, he didn't evade, he didn't do anything that would cause any problems. He wasn't caught shoplifting, for example. So we're just hoping the court will go on with the 2.
Okay. Mr. Swingle, is there anything you wish to say?
Yeah, I got 5 kids, so
5 children, remember kids are baby goats?
yeah, I got 5 kids. I got a wife,
5 children,
5 children.
yes.
5 children I'm trying to go home to and just working hard to change my life. Really am.
Okay. All right, the court will follow the agreement, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. So were the tattoos painful?
No, I mean, the side of my arm was because I got the scar right here, so,
Mhm.
but not really.
Are you going to get
I
any
didn't
more?
hurt the most.
All right. Oh, and why did you do that?
I don't know.
All right, so you have a felony conviction. I'm sure your attorney has told you now, if you were to pick up any more criminal cases, you would be known as a repeater, which means whatever level felony that is, the punishment range would increase by one level. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You say you have 5 children, then you need to do better by them. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you for hearing us.
Thank you.
Yes.
State of Michigan versus Kamari Ash, 22S000664, as well as 22S00790.
Assistant Public Defender Dr. Lebo for Mr. Ash. Mr. Ash, could you please state your name?
Mariage.
Good morning, Mr. Ash.
Good morning.
Mr. Ash has a warrant because he has failed to report to community corrections. He did not drop when he was there on June 26th. He missed July 7th, July 3rd, he missed July 3rd, July 12th, and July 17th.
Yes, Your Honor, and we are prepared to address that today.
That is in case number 22S00664. Go ahead for a pre-trial on a bond violation, sir. With respect to the times that you've missed, you are entitled to have a hearing on the bond violation. If it is found that you actually did violate the terms of your bond, then you can have your bond revoked. At this point, there is a warrant for your arrest.
All right.
What would your client like to do, Mr. Lebo?
Your Honor, Mr. Ash would be pleading responsible to bond violation today.
It would be a guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm just writing it up. Please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Thank you. You may lower your hand. As I indicated, you have a right to have a hearing on these matters, at which time, if it is found that you did violate the terms of your bond could be revoked. The allegations are that you violated the terms of your bond by failing to report to community corrections, and then you refused or were unable to drop at the initial bond. July 3rd, July 26th, you were unable or refused to drop. July 3rd, I may have said that wrong. June 26th, 2023, you were unable or refused to drop. July 3rd, you missed. July 12th, you missed. And July 17th, you missed, despite this court's order that you needed to report to community corrections and do random drops. Is that correct?
Yes.
Find that there's a knowing, willing admission to the bond violation, admission of guilt to the bond violation. Are you satisfied? Ms. McDonald?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Lebo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mhm. What are we doing about the pretrial, please?
Your Honor, we'll be asking for an adjournment on that as we are considering a global offer, but we are waiting to hear from one of the prosecuting attorneys in another case.
What other case does he have?
Mr. Ash has a felony home invasion matter pending with the same victim in these 2 cases.
And they predate this or what?
It's up for PCC this Thursday. We did receive that request for global resolution over the weekend, but that APA is out of the office today, and I don't think she will be returning until tomorrow, Wednesday.
All right. Let me rephrase my question. This occurred on September the 7th, and July 29th, both in the year of 2022. Does this home invasion? What?
Home invasion was June 17th, 2022.
Okay. Never mind, I got the answer to it. All right. So as to the bond, Ms. McDuffie, what is your position on that, please?
Your Honor, I would appreciate it if Mr. Ash could be ordered to report within 24 hours of today for testing, but nothing beyond, and obviously to continue. The nature of our cases is not one where there would have been direct allegations because they're stalking, so it's more about the communication versus any observed behavior by police directors. But I do think it's important that we at least have some sort of baseline established, if you don't.
So are you asking for a one test?
At least, Your Honor.
Okay, I can do that with no problem. Do you want more than that? Or are you saying that if it's positive, then you want additional testing? I need clarification on what your request is.
Yes, I'm asking that he be ordered to report within 24 hours, and if there's any more positive, that he be ordered to continue.
Thank you. Mr. Lebo.
Your Honor, that is what I discussed with Mr. Ash that likely happened today, and that's fine, with us. I would note that the reason that he'd failed the test is due to not having the funds.
All right, I am indicating that the defendant must report within 24 hours in order to test. If he is positive, then he must continue testing. If he is negative, then he does not need to. What did you say the next date was for is it a PE or a PCC?
PCC this Thursday.
Probably nothing much is going to happen at that. Unless you think you're close to a resolution.
Your Honor, my understanding at this point, they're simply waiting to hear back from APA Kirby once she returns to the office.
Well, I should say we haven't discussed anything yet either, because we just got the request. So it's not like we're on the verge of a resolution.
Oh, I see. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, we'll go with August 21st. August 21st, 2023 at 9 a.m. Bench warrant is recalled. You to report to community corrections within 24 hours, sir. Okay. I'm sorry, you're muted.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you back here on August 21st.
All right.
Thank you.
Predominantly Black people are in jail. What's up with that?
Wait, who is that? All right, thank you.
Court is calling 2020 CR 2546, State of Texas versus Isaiah Noel Escobedo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense.
Zachary Munoz for the defense.
Are you Isaiah Noel Escobedo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision and First Amended Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Isaiah Noel Escobedo who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 2546 for the offense of possession with intent to deliver penalty group 2, 4 grams to 400 grams on November 30th, 2020 for a period of 5 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
It's on the first amended motion to get probation, Judge. It's violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant Isaiah Noel Escobedo did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February, March, April, and May 2023 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
That's true. Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge, it's agreed revocation. It's going to be for 6 years to do TDC and to run a concurrent with county court cause numbers 707-148.
All right, is that your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
And are you asking the court to follow this agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, the court will follow your agreement, find you guilty, grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in prison. This will run concurrent with 707-148. Give you credit for any time served. And let me see. All right, was the $120 ever paid to Live Oak for drug testing?
Way that it's listed, the remaining value to that is $55.
All right, there's to be a restitution of $55.62 to Live Oak PD for drug testing. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. All you had to do was report. And you didn't do it. How old are you?
24.
All right. I see that. I know that you have children because I order parenting classes. You're going to have to do better. If your intention in this life is not to do better, then don't be in your children's lives. Because each time you leave them and they think that you're going to be their father and you're going to do everything that you're supposed to do and you leave them, it breaks their heart. So don't come back into life if you're not planning on bettering yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't be the person who's in and out of the prison system and become institutionalized where you think prison is a great home. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to do better. All right. Good luck to you. All right. Have you conferred with the state on this motion?
I have, Judge.
All right. Who's the prosecutor?
I spoke to Brittany.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 0035, State of Texas versus Steve Terrazas Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Mitchell for the state.
Defense?
Mr. Guevara for defense, Your Honor.
All right, and are you Mr. Terrazas Jr.? All right, your counsel has filed a motion requesting that you be allowed contact with minor children, specifically so that you can reside with your sister and her family. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge, and I can clear that up just a bit. The wording might have been a little awkward on the motion, but he's continued to live with his mother throughout the pendency of this case, and with no problems. He's been on GPS. He's doing well. As far as I understand, he has no violations whatsoever. However, his sister, Desire Terrazas, who I believe is logged on to the court's Zoom.
No, she's not in the,
Okay, we just got an indication from her that she was attempting to log on.
okay.
She has two children. I believe one of them is 1 year old and the other is a 2-year-old boys. And she's having a financial hardship currently, so she needs a place to live, and mother is willing to open up her home to her so she has a place for her and the boys to live. So the request is that he be able to continue to live there with his mother as he has been, and allow, with no objections from the mother, from Desire, allow her to move in and him to have contact. It would be supervised, of course, Your Honor, but that's the request.
Your Honor, we have not spoken to the sister. I can represent to the court that I'm assuming defense is in agreement that the victim in this case is a teenage female. So it's not similar age, Your Honor. However, with the nature of the charge, it's not something that we would agree to. But I can represent to the court that it is not the same age child, the victim.
All right. I do have a letter in here, and I'm assuming because the person hasn't zoomed in, I do have this unsigned letter from Desire or Desiree Terrazas saying that she's aware of the charges against her brother. I will be moving back in with my family temporarily, and I do not have any safety concerns about my children. I do believe my children will be safe. So here's the court's issue. I know that the state is saying that the alleged complainant in this case is a teenager, correct?
That's right, Your Honor. Yes.
And what age are we talking about?
15.
All right, so we're talking about 15. But I still have concerns because of the nature of the offense. It's an aggravated sexual assault child. And these are children. And sometimes, and I'm not saying that the case that you're here on is true or not. I haven't heard any facts, but I do know that sometimes when people are residing in a house, people get a little bit lax sometimes with their conditions. And if you tell them this person is to have no unsupervised contact, then the next thing you know, somebody is, well, I just need to run to the store real quick. I don't feel like putting children in a car seat. It'll only be a few minutes. And this is as much for your protection as anyone else. So that's the court's concern.
And just briefly, if Your Honor, if I may, to speak to part of that. Initially, when he was first placed on bond, it was no contact completely. So he resided with his grandmother for just a little while. The court was approached on a motion to allow him to live with his parents, with his mother again. And their, I believe his siblings are minor children, and he was in the court, having heard on that motion, did allow him to do so again. As far as I understand, Judge, there's been no problems, no violations, nothing of that
Is
sort.
there a reason he can't live with his grandmother?
I think that was, I believe maybe it was her. This was a tough situation. I can't really speak to the specifics on that, Judge, but I think it was just probably a smoother living
All right,
experience.
you're not under oath. I'm not going to take you under oath, but is there a reason why you can't live with your grandmother?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is the reason?
She wanted more money.
Okay. Well, can't something be worked out where his sister can say where she is, and maybe instead of paying his mother, he can pay the sister or something?
My understanding, Judge, now is that
Or has she already moved?
no, she has not. As far as I know, she has not, Judge. But my understanding is that Steve, just out of an abundance of caution, has stayed in the home, is not wanting to violate any aspect of the court's rulings whatsoever. And so I know that he has some freedom of movement even while on GPS, but he's trying to be as steady and stable throughout the pendency of this. And so again, this situation kind of presented itself, not through any fault of his. It seems like it's just something that Desire herself needs in order to, I guess, and at this point, I mean, we're getting into speculation here, but to get back on her feet, to be solvent again enough to be able to have a place of her own.
All right. Well, I can tell you all that she hasn't zoomed in. These are the answers I need to questions. One, I need to know how many bedrooms are in that home
Yes, ma'am.
by whoever it is. Two, I need to know where everybody's going to be sleeping. And Mr. Terrazas, I'm not saying that you would do anything to, I guess, your nephews, but I still need some insurances as far as people understanding my ruling if I were to allow you to stay there. And one of the things, I need to know how many bedrooms there are, who's going to be sleeping where.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll see if I can get her on, Jack. I thought she was
Sure.
logging on when we got called up. That's why I came up to the court.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I just want to correct something. The victim she's about to turn 15. At the time of the offense, she was 13, which is why it's aggravated.
All right.
Thank you. I'll reapproach Your Honor once I have the that in place. and those
Okay,
answers.
sure.
Thank you.
There's a real approach on that one. Who's here? Brittany Brubaker. All right, Ms. Brubaker, come up.
Which side of it?
Oh, you're on this side. Court is calling 2021 CR 8728B, State of Texas versus Brittany Marie Brubaker. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, hand, Your Honor.
Defense?
Meredith Chacon for Ms. Brubaker, Your Honor.
Are you Brittany Brubaker?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled motion to revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brittany Marie Brubaker who was placed on community supervision in 2021 CR 8728B for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on February 23rd, 2022 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 4 in Bear County, Texas. The defendant Brittany Marie Brubaker did then there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of March 2023 in violation condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True. Waiver of any violated condition.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor. It is to deny the motion and to continue with her on her deferred.
She's on regular.
Probation, Your Honor, and have her attend the state contracted ISF cognitive track, remain in custody until treatment bed is available. In addition, transfer the probationer to ISP and complete the intensive outpatient treatment.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. So I see here that you've been here before for not following the court's conditions of probation. So why are you not reporting?
I just messed up.
No, I mean, there has to be a reason. You know, you're looking at 6 years in prison. When you have a contract, when you're on probation, the contract is not between your attorney and the state. I don't have to follow their agreement. The contract is with the court. So why are you not reporting? Would you like to go to prison?
No.
Then why are you behaving as though you want to go to prison? Because last time you were here, and I didn't hear the motion of Judge heard the motion, there was a violation of condition number 2 and number 14 that you pled true to. And the conditions were alternate minute for SATIF, followed by aftercare, weekly UAs for 2 months. And there's to be CPS compliance. So why are you not doing what you need to do?
I went to go take a drug test on the day I got out, January 18th. And they didn't submit it till the 19th. So it's getting more consequences for them not submitting it to the 19th.
So what is the March? You're not reporting in March. What does that have to do with them not submitting things?
I just got discouraged.
Any questions?
No, Judge, I did have a conversation with my client about that being a poor choice and that she needed to own up to it and that the cognitive track they were offering her might help her with better decision making.
And what is happening with the CPS case?
It got closed.
So were her rights terminated or
No, Your Honor, her son lives with her dad, which is where she was living.
probation? So is this a good fit ISF and did she ever complete SATA?
She did 119 days in status. The aftercare is where it kind of went awry. What Mr. Garahan stated, that is what the recommendation is from the probation department.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a choice. Sometimes I can give people choices, sometimes I cannot. I will grant the motion and sentence you to 2 years in the prison, or I will follow the recommendation that's been tendered. Which would you prefer?
The 2.
You want to speak to your attorney about that or no?
Yeah.
That's what I said. Okay. All right, I'll deny the motion. Alter and amend conditions. To include state ISF cognitive. Followed by ISP. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
I would say after she is released from state ISF, complete intensive outpatient treatment.
All right.
Maybe weekly reporting for a month.
All right, that'll be followed by intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And instead of weekly reporting, we'll just do the UA hotline until further notice.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything else that you need from the court? All right, in this court, communication is key. If there's an issue and you feel as though probation is not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. I'm here. You understand? Now, is there anything else you need to be successful? All right, do not come back here for not reporting again. You understand? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll have a seat.
And Anthony Zamora has zoomed in. And are you ready for, his mother did not show?
The mom was not aware that she had to come today. I made contact with her. She said she'll be giving me the paperwork within the hour.
Ah,
Through
okay.
email.
All right. All right, Steve Terrazas. And then afterwards, we'll take up the motions on Rodriguez. All right. Are you able to hear us? Oh, she's connecting to audio.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry. I
can hear you. All right,
got it.
we're back on the record in 2023 CR 0035, State of Texas versus Steve Terrazas. Defense, would you like to call Miss Desire Terrazas?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Desire Terrazas.
All right, defense.
Hi,
Oh,
Desire.
I'm sorry, 1 second. Any objections to the witness appearing by video state?
No.
Defense?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Terrazas, any objection to the witness appearing by video? All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you. Hi, Desire. Just want to make sure that we're clear on this motion. What we're here for is it was a request that you be allowed to move in to your mother's house with your children. Although Steve does reside at that address, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And could you tell the court how many children you have?
I have 2 children.
Okay. And what are their ages?
I have a boy who is 1 year old and the other one is 8 months.
8 months. Okay. And you've sent us, our office, a statement stating that you have no concerns about Steve being around your children. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And another court has expressed some concerns, and I want to explain this to you that that there's always safety measures that are in place to make sure that there's no problems, no issues with the safety of your children. Will they be supervised at all times when it comes to being around Steve?
Yes, they will be.
Okay. And you know what the nature of the charges are that he's currently facing, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And just to make it clear to the court, what do you know about the charges? What they are?
I know what he's being charged for. That's as far as
You don't
I don't
have the exact legal name of it, but what do you know it to be?
He's not allowed to be around children under a certain age.
And are you aware that this is a sex-based allegation?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And it has to do with the allegation has to do with someone who is underage. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And knowing all of those things, are you still telling the court that you have no concerns and that you would like to be able to reside with your children in the same household as Steve Terrazas?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And to my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, the house, your mother's house, has 3 bedrooms. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And Steve resides actually in a room detached from the house. Is that right?
Yes, it's an outhouse in the front of the house, and it's totally separate from the main house.
Okay. And should you move into the house, where will you be staying?
In the main house, all the way in the last room.
Okay, very good. I think Judge at this point would pass the witness.
All right, any questions?
Just briefly, where will the children be during the day? Are they going to be
The-
home?
No, yes, they're gonna be with me, but my son, I'm waiting to get them into a it's a early education center.
Okay. Do you know when that may happen?
It's gonna happen in about 2 months.
No further questions.
All right, so are you telling the court that your brother, he doesn't actually live inside the home?
Yes.
All right, this detached, is it a detached room that he lives in?
Yes, it's the little house in the front.
And this house that's in the front, does it have plumbing, its own bathroom, or no?
No, it doesn't.
So is it just a room?
It's just a room, yes.
All right, you understand if the court were to allow this, that your brother is not allowed to be around your children unsupervised?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you able to do that?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you employed?
I am.
What are your hours?
I work the night shift, so I'm working from 5:30 to 2 a.m., but my parents are here as well. They would be there in the afternoon. So those are the ones who are going to help me out.
Okay, so 5:30 to 2 a.m. And what
Yes,
days
ma'am.
of the week are this?
Monday through Friday.
And at the home, who would all be living there? So it would be you, your 2 children. Who else is in the home?
My mom, my dad, and my little brother. And that'll be it.
And your little brother, how old is he?
He is 7.
All right, any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Any other questions? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, State, do you have any objections?
Your Honor, given that he lives in a separate home other than shared facilities, and if contact will be supervised, then I do not have an objection.
All right, so Ms. Terrasas, based
Yeah.
upon state's input and your testimony to the court and the defense's input, I will allow him to reside at the current location with the understanding that he actually lives in a detached room that's detached from the home, and he's not to have any unsupervised contact with minors. So what that means, I understand it's a family. People are probably cooking dinner. He comes in to have dinner, breakfast, or use the facilities, but he is not to do that if there are children in the home and they are unsupervised.
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, so
Yes.
Mr. Terrasas, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing to defense, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'm going to add, just so everybody is clear, defendant is to reside in the detached, I'll call it a detached home, even though I know it's just a room. He's to reside in the detached home, and there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Is there anything else that needs to be added?
No, Your Honor, I don't think so.
All right, thank you. I'll fill this out, and if you want to get a copy, you'll be able to get a copy.
Very well, Judge. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
time, Judge.
You're welcome.